that women are the majority? Women are the majority in many countries. How come that women face more challenges in education, politics, economic improvement, religion, culture, and many more? Empowering Women's Ministry is coming your way to get views from politicians, chiefs, technocrats, educationists, clergy, and many, many more to enable me bring solutions and empowerment to the challenges that are facing women. Join me. I'm Dr. Akosua Apiasumi. The more girls and women are educated, the more it is better for our nations and for the globe. When women and girls are educated, we find more women in leadership. The world is leaning and yearning for more female leadership. When women come into power, there are so many things that they do. They solve female problems. We have female challenges that need to be solved by women. Men are helping us to solve our female problems, but we need women who can also understand women better. When it comes also to relationship, women must learn how to live with their counterparts. Marriage is very good for women who have children because we don't want our children to be astray. When the father and the mother are in the house together, it helps the children. So that is also very important. Our political avenues must be opened for women to take part. There are issues regarding to women that only women can solve. As much as we have men addressing those issues, it would be better that we have more women addressing those issues. Economic development is another thing that is so important in our society. Women cannot continue to be so poor and be burdens and be beggars. When women are educated, they can get their own small jobs, they can form their own businesses, they become entrepreneurial, and from that they are able to create jobs and even hire men and women, and from there they are able to take care of their children. When there is a divorce in the family, poverty strikes immediately. When there is a disaster in the family, it's women and children who suffer the most. And we don't want all these things to happen before the woman looks for shelter or looks for a solution. Women can equally help to develop the globe. So it's very important that we empower them through economic empowerment and education, so building their relationships so that they can have sound mind to help in the building of the globe. Ladies, I want you to watch Empowering Women's Ministry that comes your way every week. I'm inviting all of you to watch Empowering Women's Ministry every week that talks about economic development, relationship, education. We need to empower our women virtuously. We need to empower our women with good solution, and that is what Empowering Women's Ministry is doing. I'm your host, Dr. Akosua Apiasumi. When they ask father and mother, you have girls, and if we want you to advise them, what will be the kind of jobs you select for them? Some of the fathers say, I want my daughters to be nurses. Some said dressmakers. Some said businesswomen, which is good. All these things are good. Nothing mentioned in science. Some said, I want them to be teachers. It's great to be teachers. I started as one. But is this the only thing that female can indulge in? Why is it that we think females should be limited to a certain type of job? When they ask the same parents, what type of jobs would you like your sons to do? I want my sons to be involved in technology, sports, engineering. I want them to go on the moon. I want my sons to be chemists. I want them to be CEOs, pilots. They started saying big, big things. I want my son to be the president of America. Why couldn't they say all these things for the girls? Don't you know that a female can also be a president in countries in Africa? Of course, we do even have some in Brazil. We can have some in America. We can have females doing similar things that men are doing. Females are unique. They have their own unique ways of things that they can achieve. And they cannot be better than the men, and the men cannot be better than the females. They are all human beings, and God can use them. That is how the minds of the parents start to create problems right away for their girls. Limitations are put on girls when it comes to STEM. Limitations are put on women when it comes to STEM. But don't you think even we need women to be able to discover the kind of chemicals we need for our hair? Why are the men discovering the chemicals for our own hair? Don't we need females to do that? A few years ago, there was a debate among politicians over contraceptives, female contraceptives. And when they went for this debate, no female was invited in the decision making. So the men met and they made a decision over contraceptives. These contraceptives are for women. Women are going to put this into their bodies. And the men met and felt that they must make a decision for women what they want to put in their bodies. If you believe in contraceptives or not, that is just something that happened. But my question that day was, where were the women? Where were the women scientists? Why would the men decide what the women are supposed to wear? Why should they? Because the men decide their own contraceptives. The men decide their own Viagra or whatever they want. But what about the women? Who decides for the women? Where are the women scientists? We need women scientists. We need female scientists. We need to be able to move forward with some things regarding women. These girls are moving forward. They are progressing in other courses. They are progressing in human resources management. They are progressing in administration. They are progressing in sociology. They are progressing in health care. A lot of women prefer to be nurses. When you go to the hospitals, you barely see male nurses, especially in some parts of the world. But when it comes to the science, there is a limitation, and we need women to consider. Girls are not interested. That's a myth. Have you heard people say girls are not interested? Another myth is girls are not interested in science. Who said? Oh, people can say that, but have you interviewed all girls? From the time they start school, you can see that girls show a lot of interest in STEM. Let's find a solution. Girls need confidence. I say, when girls are confident, they will be able to stay in science lab classrooms. Because sometimes it's not easy to be in the science lab with the men, with the boys, with the male. Because sometimes even the boys, the men will discourage the women with their presence. Instead of the boys calling them and say, hey, come around, let's sit down and find a solution to this problem, the boys can just downplay the girls and, abuse their confidence right there. And you see that the girls lose their confidence right away because a boy can just come and say, hey, I know science, I got 100%, what did you get? Hey, how many girls are in this class? Only 2 girls are here. What do you want in engineering class? Hey, go and join your girls. You see what I'm saying? All these things can discourage the girl from loving science. So it's important for us to help the girls build their confidence so that they can love math and they can love science, engineering, because they possess the abilities. And when girls see other scientists, why can't they love science? As a community, we need to overcome negative and outdated perceptions of engineering to encourage more young people to consider it as a career option. Let's encourage our girls. We need to be sure we instill confidence in our children that a boy who wants to be a nurse can be a nurse. If a boy wants to be a nurse, a boy can be a nurse. When you travel around the world, you can see in some of the hospitals, especially the developed countries, you see male nurses than the developing countries. So let's encourage, if a boy wants to be a nurse, let's encourage him to be a nurse. And if a girl wants to be a physicist, or a girl wants to go on the moon, let's encourage that girl to go on the moon. Don't let us say the boy should rather go on the moon and the girl should be a nurse. So if a girl wants to be a rocket scientist, so be it. It's the community that needs to encourage that girl. Another solution, as parents, we need to challenge ourselves to break stereotypes. Change starts with parents. The change will start from the parents at home. The parent that sees the girl that likes to draw can know that this girl wants to be an artist. The parent that can see the girl that is always working with iron and hitting things, that's an engineer right there. So parents, let's start this from the homes. Let's encourage our girls that they can be at the top and they can love science. They can be among the STEM holders, the female STEM holders. They can be one of those. Let's study our children and encourage them in the things that they start when they are young. It's easy to know that. There are other strategies for encouraging girls in math and science. Number one, girls can always expand and improve academic abilities because they are not fixed. Don't say that because this semester you got low in math or you got low mark in science and engineering, you cannot get back. That is not fixed. You can help that child to bounce back. You can help that girl to bounce back and go back and learn so that she can improve in her science academic abilities. Also, let's expose girls to female role models. Community leaders must make that move where they bring girls and women who are scientists together to know that there are role models out there. Let's expose these girls to them. There are role models there. As I speak around different schools, different universities and colleges, the question keeps coming to me, who can be my role model? Because I don't find any female scientists that I can talk to. I see them in pictures. That means we don't have enough around us. But still, let's encourage them, the children. Let's encourage the girls. And then expose some of these role model scientists, mathematicians, engineers to them. Also, let's encourage our teachers to provide information and feedback to girls who want to adopt science as their best subjects. That means the teachers will have to encourage the girls. We say, you are doing very well. If a girl is doing well in science, teachers, you have to encourage them. Don't say you are competing with the boys. There's no competition. I always tell people, don't compete. Be your best. Be the unique person that you are created to be. And that's the only way you can know who you are and be the best. No two people are the same. Men and women are not the same. Boys and girls are not the same. What the guy can achieve, let the girl also achieve what she can achieve. When it comes to science, math, engineering, technology, girls can break through. Girls, you can break through. I want you to tell yourself, speak to yourself, I can break through. So teachers, provide informational feedback. Teachers, use ongoing formative assessments such as conversation, homework, quiz to test the girls and see their abilities so that you can help them and say, you can do it, girl. You did so well. I'm so proud of you that you got this high mark in science and math. Keep it up. Encourage these girls and they will be able to do it. The teachers will know the weaknesses and the mastering content in real time, the weaknesses and the strengths of the girls. And once you find out that, you know how to encourage them. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't learn too much, that whatever you learn is going to end up in the kitchen. Of course, kitchen is part of us. Women and girls, kitchen is part of us. It does not take us away from books. The more we learn, the more we love the kitchen because we can do better in the kitchen. And we can even help our families when we know the science and we know calculations and engineering. We'll be able to use it better in the kitchen. I like that. So let's do it. Let's go ahead and don't let anybody discourage us. Also, common is the use of praise focused on students' intelligence. Don't let us discourage them. There's no point discouraging the girls. The learning environment in the math classrooms as a solution. The learning environment in the science classroom. The learning environment in the engineering classroom. The learning environment of the technological courses classroom. We must consider all these things because they do help our girls. Let's consider how best we can make it friendly, classroom friendly to our girls, classroom friendly, lab friendly to our engineer students. Let's do that to help this girl. So we know that teachers, you play a major part of girls becoming interested in science. And I trust that you can do that. You're doing a good job already, teachers, but you can increase what you're doing. You can elaborate it more. You can praise more girls. You can encourage more girls, motivate them, and tell them that they can do math. The math is not hard. What you and I can do, we can just do like Lois and Eunice. Let's find ways to improve girls' math, science, engineering, technology. We can do it. It's a community affair. Parents do it, community does it, teachers do it, the church encouraging girls even to be involved in science. So we can look in the book of Timothy where Lois and Eunice were able to take care of Timothy for him to become the person that he became. If schools are to produce the mathematicians and scientists we need in this 21st century, teachers must use strategies to booster female. Number one, I said the solution comes from parents first. The parents must be open-minded. They must know that their children who are female can be scientists. They can be engineers. They can play a major part in technology, and they can also be mathematicians. Teachers provide guidance to the female, and they will be able to soar. Society must look at these girls and encourage them, and not look at them with a strange eye. Hey, look at that girl. She's always climbing that tree. She's a tomboy. No, she's just using her abilities. The abilities that she possesses, she's using that, and it must be encouraged as long as she doesn't hurt herself. So girls can break through in science, technology, engineering, and math. When we look at some of the role models, Sofia Kovalevskaya is a Russian girl. And this Russian girl did very well in math. And then we also have Elena Cornaro Piscopia. She was an Italian mathematician and theologian. Mathematician and a theologian. She even composed music. And in fact, Elena Cornaro Piscopia was the first woman to have a PhD. Can you imagine that? What about Mary Fairfax Somerville? She was a Scottish mathematician. Recently, 2015, the winners of the Elsevier Foundation Awards for Women Scientists in the Developing World, we have Rabia Said, PhD from Nigeria. We have Mojisola Usikalu, PhD, also from Nigeria. We have Nashwa Issa, PhD, from Sudan. All these are mathematicians, scientists from around the world. What about Johannes Pan from South Africa? And Pegoti Mutai from Kenya? All these people were mathematicians, and they were female. And so if you are watching me, and you are hearing my voice, I want you to get the DVD and hear it again, listen to it again, or give it to a female that needs that encouragement. Because we do have some females who want to be scientists, who want to be mathematicians. We have some of them who want to be in technology and engineers, and we need more. We need to encourage them more. The Word of God says that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And so with the strength of Christ, we can do it. The Word of God also says that if we can believe, all things are possible. So if you're a female, you're a girl, going to college, going to high school, or going to university, whether you are in primary school or even in the kindergarten, you are starting, I'm here to encourage you that you can do it. We need more scientists. We need to produce more scientists, female mathematicians, because very soon there's going to be a vacuum that only men will occupy these positions. But women have need for all these things. We need female physicians, more of those going to one hospital. How many female I saw in that pediatrics? I was impressed to see many female. But what about the other wards? What about the other hospitals? We need to get more women into science. If you're a female out there, come on, you can do it, girl. Get up, you can do it, study your books. It's not hard. You can make it. You can be the engineer. You can go on the moon. I will never tell you that the sky is your limit, because the sky is not your limit. Heaven is your limit. So you got to move higher. You got to move higher and higher in science. You got to move higher and higher in math. You got to move higher and higher in engineering. You got to move higher and higher in technology. You can do it. God bless you. I'm so glad you spent time with me today. I've been in your home. I've been in your kitchen. I've been in your office. And I know that you heard the word that came today. Why do we have to empower women? We empower women, as I have said, because when women's lives are improved, they assist in both domestic and international development. Also, women assist their children better in education, and they don't stay poor and are able to help the family. Empowering women is so essential, and it should not be left for just the woman or women to achieve it. I'm asking all men and stakeholders to actually be very interested in the empowerment of women. I've also declared to you that empowering women should not be something that comes as competition from women or even from men. Empowering women should be something that men and women should approve and just want to do it. You want your children, you want your daughters, you want your mothers, you want your sisters, you want your wives to be empowered. When they are empowered, it lifts a big burden off the society. Because when we look at poverty around the globe, we look around the world and we talk about poverty, we see more women poor than men. And when women become so poor, it affects their children, it affects their families. It affects other individuals around them. It affects the community. So why don't we look at how we can empower women to alleviate poverty? Women need to be helped. Women need to be assisted. But unless we all come together as a family to help them, we cannot achieve the Millennium Goals. Thank you so much for watching me. See you next time, same day, same time in your home. Shalom.
Stand